Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with our second topic today. Egypt was able to recover the green coffin from the United States of America under the efforts that was exerted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Well, to shed more light on this green coffin that Egypt have took back from the United States, we have the pleasure to have this phono with Dr. Simon Sayegh, tourism expert. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Well, sir, how do you see the importance of the efforts that were exerted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in order to recover the green coffin from the U.S.?
Well, that's beautiful news that we just heard about that return, because it represents the Egyptian diplomatic efforts that has finally succeeded in recovering the artifact, which is the cover of a wooden coffin from ancient Egypt, and it has been taken illegally, and that's how it has been out of the country. That coffin, that is almost 3 meters long, has been, let's say, exposed in Houston Museum, and it's a museum for natural science. And U.S. authorities has determined that it was looted years ago, and the repatriation, let's say, the repatriation is part of Egyptian government efforts finally succeed to stop that trafficking of our stolen antiquities. You know that on 2021, authorities in Cairo have succeeded in getting 5,300 stolen artifacts that has been returned to Egypt from across the world. So our top official at the Supreme Council of Antiquities, Mr. Mustafa Waziri, he has said that that sarcophage that is dated to the late dynastic period of ancient Egypt, it's an era of the last, let's say, rulers of Egypt, 664 BC, and it's around 3 meters long. It is brightly painted for his top surface, and it was for a priest, and the inscription, unfortunately, is a bit raised on top of it, and it was presented to us by Mr. Daniel Rubinstein, the chargé d'affaires in Egypt, in like a symbolic, wonderful moment, and that handover has been made, and it has been, let's say, the fruit of a work that has been made for a long period of time. Egypt also is demanding the return of 32 stolen artifacts from London. And we have made, since last week, through our Ministry of Antiquities, we have launched an investigation about that. And some of the pieces belongs to King Tutankhamun, and it was gonna be sold at Christie's auction house in London, in England. And this week, we made our official complaint to the top prosecutor to stop the sale of those 32 artifacts. And the public prosecution has sent a memo to the British counterparts to stop the sale. That's our efforts that are done. And we are contacting also the UNESCO to make it more official. And that demand, we hope it will succeed. Our ambassador, the European ambassador, Mr. Ivan Sarkos, has supported our country efforts in retrieving all stolen artifacts. And it has been very well stressed and supporting our efforts. And the Embassy of Egypt in the United Kingdom has announced the return of an ancient antique stone that was previously stolen from Karnak Temple in Luxor. And earlier this year, our embassy in Amsterdam has succeeded to retrieve a limestone statue that was illegally smuggled from Saqqara in 1990. It was going to be sold in an auction in the Dutch capital. So it's a beautiful work that we are doing all over the time. We don't stop. And let me tell you that stunning coffin that was profitable by a well-organized network that was looted countless antiquities from the region, well, Egypt is so pleased for that return rightfully belonging to us.
Yes.
So we'll continue always in order to return more and more and more pieces.
Yes, Dr. Sayegh, also you've just mentioned that there are lots of antiquities around the world, stolen antiquities, like for example 34 pieces that Egypt in UK, that Egypt is demanding that it comes back again to Egypt. Could you name some of the important pieces that is in Britain and in other countries, like for example the Rosetta Stone in UK, and also the head of Nefertiti in Berlin, and also the statue of Ramses II in Italy?
Well, actually, we are estimating that in the last decade, around 29,000 pieces has been out of the country, and we are tracing them to bring them back. As you know so well, we crossed a tough time in 2011, 2012 for the security of the state, and now we are retrieving and following all of those pieces, and we count a lot for the international protection of the cultural heritage. Nowadays, we cannot imagine, as an example, Paris without Notre Dame, Athens without the Parthenon, or the Giza without the pyramids, or even Jerusalem without the Dome of the Rock. So all over the world, monuments that belong to them should stay there. So from there, the cultural heritage, we should protect it, and we are following the international community for those 29,000 pieces, and we count a lot to the contribution of the United Nations and also UNESCO. We are going so far to use all kinds of organizations, like for example, the United Nations Education, Social and Cultural Organization. They have a specialized agency inside of it that has adopted a lot of law and work in that. So Egypt is also working for the law 1954 that protects the cultural property. And from there, we are asking for our nation the return back of our, let's say, heritage. That cultural heritage has been targeted and has been attacked for a long period of time, and we will not let it go. Egypt will bring it back, and that will be a very good point for our tourism, our touristic campaign, and that will prove the power of our state. It's an asset for our tourism, especially after the COVID that has been taken out of the country, a part of it.
Yes, Dr. Sayegh, back to the recovery of the green coffin. So, give us the historical importance of this coffin as the size. We can see that you've just mentioned that it's 3 meters long. We can see that it's a big coffin, and also it goes back to the last dynasty. So, give us an idea about the historical importance of the green coffin.
Well, that coffin, first of all, belongs to a priest, and that coffin is made of wood. So it shows first how beautifully the Egyptian has succeeded to work it. It represents all of the details of the face, and it represents also the tradition by the time to craft it during the life of the person. So the priest by that time who has made the coffin during his life, it has been used during his life as a piece of art in his house, exposed like our days, some people expose a statue or a picture in their house. So it has been used during that late dynastic period of ancient Egypt in his home. When he passed away, it has been taken to be the cover of the sarcophagus, and the surface itself, it is brightly painted. And that priest, his name is Ankh Hen Ma'at. And the inscription on top of it, some of them has been erased, but we can still see all this, the symbols of his position around his face, like for his hair, like for his, let's say, how they work the eyes with the black that shows them so clear, and the beard that has been added. So some green on top of it, which shows the usage of metals in the coloring, like they were using copper to add it to the natural raw material, so we can give that stunning face for. So today, that piece of art will be added to our museum, and it will show the fine artwork of our carpenters and Egyptian artwork.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Simon Sayegh, tourism expert, thank you very much for joining us over the phone. And with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of The Breakfast Show. I was in the company of my colleague Mahisti Rabia. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.